Hello friends, today's topic is deductions from annual value. The same is defined under section 24. The deductions are available from the gross annual value calculated for calculating the income from house property. There are two deductions available. First is 30% of net annual value and second is interest paid on the borrowed capital. Now the next topic is deductions from annual value. Deductions from annual value is defined under section 24. So till date, till now we have studied that we have to calculate the annual value. There is determination of annual value as per section 23. There is chargeability on the house property based on section 22, and now section 24 provides deductions from the annual value. In the illustrations that we have computed earlier, we have already discussed deductions which are available, and there are two deductions available. First is 30% of net annual value and second is interest on borrowed capital. First is 30% of net annual value. Net annual value is nothing but the figure which is arrived at after calculating gross annual value under section 23 and then deducting municipal taxes, and after deduction of municipal taxes the net annual value is derived. After that 30% is the standard deduction which is available to the SSC. This deduction is irrespective of the expenses incurred by the owner. So if there are any expenses which are incurred as repairs, renovation, or other expenses which are incurred by the owner, that doesn't matter. The owner will get a standard deduction of 30% irrespective of the expenses which are being incurred. Whether any expenses are incurred or not, or whether any additional expenses are incurred, the owner is bound to get 30% standard deduction on the net annual value, and the same will be not available on the SOP property, the self-occupied property, and the property which are held as stock in trade, simply because there is no gross annual value available. The gross annual value for these properties, the self-occupied property and the property which is held as stock in trade, are nil. Accordingly, the 30% deduction on the net annual value won't be available. On the screen, there are two deductions available. First is 30% of net annual value and second is interest on the borrowed capital. First section 24A, 30% of net annual value is allowed as deduction. This is a flat deduction and is allowed irrespective of the actual expenditure incurred. Second is 30% deduction is not allowed in following cases as the annual value is nil. First is SOP property and second is property held as stock in trade and not let out. Second part is interest on the borrowed capital. There are two types of interest. First, interest on acquisition of the property and interest on repairs, renovation of the property. And if it's a self-occupied property, then there is a distinction between the two. If the loan is taken before 1st of April 99 and if loan is taken after 1st of April 99. So if you have a self-occupied property and the same is taken after 1st of April 99, then the interest which is allowed on acquisition of property is within a ceiling limit of 2 lakhs for self-occupied property, and if the loan is taken after 1st of April 99 for repairs and renovation, the ceiling limit of 30,000 will be applicable. So if the loan is taken for repairs and renovation, the interest on a self-occupied property cannot exceed 30,000, and if it is taken for acquisition of the property or construction of the property and taken before 1st of April 99, then there is a ceiling limit of 30,000 applicable, and after 1st of April 99 it should be within 2 lakhs, and there is no such ceiling limit if the house property loan is for a let out property. And secondly, there is a concept of pre-construction interest as well, wherein any loan paid on the property which is within 5 years. And there is another concept of pre-construction interest, wherein the interest paid before acquisition or construction of the property will be allowed as deduction in the year of construction, in the year of acquisition, and it will be allowed for succeeding 5 years in 5 annual equal installments. So on the screen, section 24B, interest on borrowed capital is allowed as deduction. First point, interest payable on loans borrowed for the purpose of acquisition, construction, repairs, renewal, or reconstruction can be claimed as deduction. Interest payable on a fresh loan. Interest payable on a fresh loan taken to repay the original loan is also admissible as a deduction. Interest on pre-construction period. Pre-construction period is the period prior to the previous year in which the property is acquired or construction is completed. Pre-construction interest can be claimed as a deduction over a period of 5 years in equal annual installments commencing from the year of acquisition or completion of construction. Interest relating to the year of completion of construction, acquisition of property can fully be claimed in that year irrespective of the date of completion or acquisition. So the last pointer is interest relating to the year of completion of construction, acquisition of property can be fully claimed in a way once your property is constructed or once you have purchased the property, the interest paid after that period or in that year can be fully claimed. There is 5 year of equal installment applicability only if the interest paid before the acquisition period, before the construction period is paid, then that pre-construction interest is allowed in 5 equal annual installments. However, if any interest paid in the year of acquisition, in the year of construction, and thereafter, the same will be allowed on accrual basis year on year. Illustration: Mr. A had taken a loan of 5 lakhs for construction of property on 1st of October 2018. Interest was payable at 10% per annum. The construction was completed on 30th June 2019, which is year financial year 1920. No principal repayment has been made up to 31st of March 2020. Compute the interest allowable as deduction under section 24 for the assessment year. So we will have to calculate the pre-construction interest. In this case, the loan was taken in 1819 and it was repaid in 2019. So only for 1 year there is a pre-construction interest and 5 lakhs and 10% per annum. So the interest payable as a pre-construction in the pre-construction period is 50,000, and this 50,000 will be allowed in 5 equal annual installments from the year 1920. So in this case, Pre-construction interest is only for financial year 18-19 and it is 50,000, and interest paid in financial year 1920 is also 15,000. So deduction available under section 24B is nothing but pre-construction interest is 50,000 divided by 5, which is 10,000, and it will be available in 5 equal annual installments from the financial year 1920 in the year in which the construction is completed. Also, interest in financial year 1920 which is paid in financial year, so same is accrued, which is 50,000. So total interest which is available as deduction is 60,000, which is 10,000 of pre-construction interest, which will be available in 5 equal annual installments, and the interest which is payable in 1920, which is 50,000. So total interest is 60,000. And the next part that we were discussing was the interest deduction available on a self-occupied property. So there are additional conditions for it. First, if a loan is borrowed before 1st of April 99, in those cases, property has been acquired, constructed, repaired, renewed, or reconstructed before 1st of April 1999. So in that case, actual interest payable in aggregate for one or two self-occupied properties subject to 30,000. So there is a cap of 30,000 on the interest deduction, and after 1st of April 1999, if the property is acquired or constructed and such construction or acquisition is completed within 5 years from the end of the financial year in which capital is borrowed, in those cases there is a maximum cap of 2 lakh, and if property is repaired, the cap of 30,000 remains. So for repair purpose, the deduction on interest cannot exceed 30,000, and for acquisition purpose, the deduction can be increased to 2 lakhs if it is borrowed on or after 1st of April 1999. Additional notes: total interest deduction cannot exceed 2 lakhs because there is an overall cap of 2 lakhs for SOP property, and it includes the pre-construction interest as well. It should be within a cap of 2 lakhs. For the purpose of claiming deduction of 2 lakhs as per B1 in the table given above, which is related to the acquisition of property after 1st of April 1999, the assessee should obtain a certificate from a person to whom any interest is payable on the capital borrowed, specifying the amount of interest payable. So generally when you pay a interest, you will get a certificate which specifies how much principal amount has been paid during the year and how much interest amount has been paid during the year from the banker. That certificate will be will act as a proof for the borrower, and on that basis the borrower can claim a deduction. So this certificate is important for claiming deduction over here. The ceiling limit would not apply to let out or deemed to be let out property. Interest is allowable on accrual basis. Next point is unpaid purchase price would be considered as capital borrowed. It means that if any purchase price or price of the property is yet payable on the acquisition, even that will be considered as for the purpose of calculation of the interest deduction. So out of 100 amount, if 20 rupees is still payable, is still outstanding, which is payable to the seller by the buyer, in that cases on that entire amount the 100% deduction will be available. Interest will be calculated on rupees 100 and not 80. Last point, interest on unpaid interest is not deductible. Interest which is payable on the unpaid interest is not allowed as deduction. So next there are series of illustration. Before that, just to give you a summary of what we have studied. First is the deduction of 30% of NAV. It is a standard deduction and it is irrespective of the expenses which are going to be incurred or expenses which are already incurred. The owner is bound to get deduction of 30%. Second is interest on borrowed capital. Interest on borrowed capital, there are two type of interest. First on self-occupied property and second on let out property. On self-occupied property, there is a cap of 2 lakhs. On let-out property, there is no such cap. Also, if in the case of SOP, if the loan is on acquisition and it is before 1st of April 99, then there is a cap of 30,000, and after 99, 1st of April 99, there is no such cap. It is within the cap of 2 lakhs, and interest on loan taken for repairs. There is a ceiling of 30,000 for SOP property, and pre-construction period interest. It will be allowed from the year of acquisition construction, and it will be allowed in 5 equal annual installments. Now illustration. Mr. A owns two house properties, one at Bombay where his family resides and the other at Delhi which is unoccupied. So, house property in Bombay is self-occupied, house property at Delhi is unoccupied. He lives in Chandigarh for his employment, which is a rented house. He lives in Chandigarh for his employment purposes in a rented house. So there are three properties involved over here. Bombay property self-occupied, Delhi property unoccupied, and Chandigarh property is a rented accommodation. For acquisition of house property at Bombay, he has taken a loan at of 30 lakhs at 10% per annum on 1st of April 2018. He has not repaid any amount so far. So same was taken on 1st of April 2018. In respect of house property at Delhi, he has taken a loan of 5 lakhs at 11% per annum on 1st October 2018 towards repairs. Compute the deduction which would be available to him under section 24B for assessment year 2021 in respect of interest payable on such loan. So for this purpose, first is Bombay property, interest for the purpose, loan for the purpose of acquisition of property. It is 30 lakhs at 10% per annum, which is interest paid. So in 1920, since no principal amount has been paid, so 30 lakhs into 10% is nothing but 3 lakhs. And since it's a self-occupied property, the deduction would be restricted to 2 lakhs. Second is Delhi property. Delhi property, the same is acquired for the purpose of repairs. Accordingly, 5 lakhs, 11% per annum is nothing but 55,000. However, it will be restricted to 30,000 as the same is for repairs. So we have to compute the deduction which is available to the SSC under section 24B. So the total deduction which is available is should be 2 lakhs plus 30,000. So the overall limit will be restricted to 2 lakhs in this case because the same is on SOP and unoccupied property. As the interest is on SOP and unoccupied property, the overall interest cannot exceed rupees 2 lakhs. So there are two restrictions that we can see over here. First is the 3 lakh was restricted to 2 lakhs because the same was on an SOP property and the loan is on acquisition of property, and the second restriction is on repairs wherein 55,000 is restricted to 30,000, and overall, since the total interest paid is exceeding 2 lakhs on a SOP property and self-occupied property, so the overall interest limit cannot exceed 2 lakhs. Next illustration, Mr. X, an individual, borrowed 20 lakhs for repairs of his self-occupied property and paid interest of 1,60,000 thereon during 1920. So the same is for repairs. What is the amount of interest allowable as deduction under section 24? Since it's a self-occupied property, the interest cannot exceed 30,000. Accordingly, in the second illustration, the interest amount will be restricted to 30,000 since it's a self-occupied property. Now moving on to the next section. Before moving on to the next section, so we have already concluded the deduction which is available under section 24B with illustrations. In this, the interest on borrowed capital has various sections which you will have to keep in mind. So, and there are various illustrations that we have covered previously as well, which covers the part of interest in keeping in view the overall computation. So the overall computation, it's like you will get GAV, the gross annual value, from section 23. Then there is municipal taxes paid. The amount of municipal taxes paid by the owner is allowed as deduction in case of LOP property. So GAV minus municipal tax, you will get NAV, net annual value, and from that you will get a deduction of 30% of net annual value and another deduction under section 24B as interest on borrowed capital, and thereafter you can derive the amount of income from house property on which the tax is payable. Thank you.